The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with laughter and derision as representatives from countless alien species gathered. At the center of it all sat Grand Strategist Volzar, a towering reptilian figure with bioluminescent scales that pulsed with smug amusement. "Humans," he sneered, his voice a guttural growl. "A species so primitive they still rely on projectile weapons. They have no psionics, no energy-based warfare, no genetic enhancements. What could they possibly contribute to this council beyond mere entertainment?" Laughter rippled through the chamber. The insectoid Krelzok chittered in agreement. The avian Dravnai tilted their sharp beaks upward in a silent gesture of condescension. Even the normally neutral arbiter of the council allowed themselves a small, knowing smirk. A Terran diplomat, seated at the far end of the chamber, clenched his jaw but remained silent. Any protest would be drowned out by the overwhelming consensus. Humanity was insignificant. Volzar leaned forward. "Let us settle this once and for all. A test. A marksmanship challenge in the council arena. One warrior from each species. The greatest snipers of the galaxy. And humanity may send whoever they like." More laughter. More mockery. The human diplomat exhaled slowly and tapped a communicator on his wrist. A single name was sent across encrypted channels. Humanity's answer to this insult. Sergeant James Mercer stepped onto the platform hours later, his presence unassuming yet deliberate. Clad in standard-issue combat fatigues, his gear looked outdated compared to the sleek, cybernetically augmented warriors around him. His rifle, a customized kinetic sniper with a high-powered scope, appeared ancient next to the floating plasma rifles and psychic projectile weapons. The moment the aliens laid eyes on him, the jeers began anew. "Where is your neural interface?" a Dravnai scoffed. "That thing still uses gunpowder," a Krelzok warrior snorted. Volzar smirked, leaning back. "This should be amusing." Mercer remained silent. He merely adjusted his scope, checked his rifle's bolt, and took a slow breath. The targets appeared in the distance, high-speed, erratic, and placed across a void of space on a rotating asteroid belt. This was a test designed for the best of the best, warriors wielding weapons that adjusted mid-flight, bullets that bent through quantum fields, minds that guided projectiles with a thought. The competition began. One by one, alien snipers took their shots. A Krelzok fired first, an autocorrecting plasma lance streaking through the void, adjusting in real time before striking near the bullseye. The council applauded. The Dravnai's turn. Their telekinetic-enhanced shot curved unpredictably, bending physics itself to land within millimeters of perfection. Cheers erupted. More competitors. More impossible feats made routine by their species' superior technology. Then, it was Mercer's turn. The laughter resumed. "A slug thrower? Is he serious?" Mercer didn't acknowledge them. He simply lay prone, body still, eyes locked onto the target. The air in the chamber felt thick with anticipation, but he heard none of it. He was elsewhere, deep in the zone, where nothing existed but the shot. He adjusted for wind resistance, the asteroid's gravity fluctuations, the near-zero temperature affecting bullet trajectory. No computers. No targeting assists. Just a man, his rifle, and his skill. Slow exhale. Finger on the trigger. He fired. A single bullet cut through the void, traveling at hypersonic speeds. No corrections. No adjustments. It reached the target. Dead center. A perfect shot. Silence. For the first time in the history of the Galactic Council, silence. The silence in the chamber stretched, thick with disbelief. Eyes, some glowing, some multi-lensed, some unblinking, stared at the display screen where the slow-motion replay confirmed the impossible. The bullet had traveled unaided across the vast distance, cutting through microgravity shifts, void drag, and planetary interference, before landing perfectly in the dead center of the moving target. The Dravnai sniper, who had relied on telekinetic guidance, clicked their beak in confusion. The Krelzok, known for their advanced targeting AI, twitched their mandibles in disbelief. Even Volzar, whose smirk had been ever-present, now sat rigid in his seat. "A fluke," someone muttered. Others nodded, desperate for an explanation. Mercer remained unmoved. He reloaded his rifle with practiced ease, methodical and unshaken, as though he hadn't just outperformed weapons centuries ahead of his own. Volzar stood, his voice cutting through the tension. Luck favors the desperate. But skill is proven under pressure. He turned to the arbiter. A single shot does not determine superiority. We require a true test. One where luck has no place. The arbiter, still staring at the replay, nodded slowly. Agreed. A new challenge was declared. A live combat simulation. A battlefield scenario where snipers would be placed within a ruined cityscape, forced to hunt each other. The last marksman standing would claim victory, not just for themselves, but for their species. The chamber filled with murmurs. This was beyond a simple contest. This was a direct test of battlefield lethality. The kind that shaped war. The competitors, once confident, showed subtle hesitation. The arena would strip away the comfort of fixed targets and predictable conditions. This would be real. The simulation was initiated. Mercer and his opponents were deployed onto a desolate moon city, a reconstruction of a war-ravaged world. Towers stood in skeletal ruin. Dust storms howled through shattered streets. Craters and debris formed endless opportunities for cover and concealment. Above, automated drones provided the Council a live feed of every move. The hunt began. Alien snipers activated advanced scanning grids, thermal optics, and motion tracking, their weapons linked to neural uplinks for instantaneous response. Mercer had none of that. No AI assist. No real-time adjustments. Just instincts and discipline. He didn't move. While others rushed for vantage points, searching for targets, he became the environment. Blending into the shadows, disappearing into the dust, he let the impatience of others work against them. A Krelzok sniper perched on a rooftop, scanning with an AI-enhanced visor. Their mistake. Mercer adjusted his aim and fired. The bullet struck metal, ricocheting off the remains of a broken sign, changing direction mid-flight, before embedding itself in the side of the alien skull. One down. The Council gasped. The alien had every technological advantage, yet he had never seen it coming. Somewhere, Valzar clenched his jaw. Mercer exhaled, chambered another round, and melted back into the ruins. The hunt was far from over. A sharp crack echoed through the ruins, and another competitor fell. Mercer remained unseen. The Council watched in stunned silence as the live feed displayed a battle unlike anything they had expected. The other snipers, with their advanced tech and guided systems, were fighting a war of speed and reaction time. Mercer was fighting a different kind of war, one of patience, calculation, and inevitability. The battlefield was littered with the mistakes of those who relied too much on their tools. A Dravnai sniper had positioned themselves on a high ridge, trusting their motion-sensing drones to keep them safe. Mercer had seen the flaw immediately. A single well-placed shot severed the drone's tether, sending it tumbling. The sniper, momentarily distracted, adjusted their scope, just in time for a bullet to find the gap in their armor. 2 down. The remaining snipers moved cautiously now. The game had changed. They were no longer hunting, they were being hunted. A reptilian sniper from the Varesh Dominion attempted to outflank Mercer, their heat-tracking rifle sweeping the ruins. Mercer let them come. He placed a discarded enemy weapon in a doorway, just barely visible. The Varesh sniper took the bait, aligning their shot, exposing themselves for half a second too long. That was all Mercer needed. His bullet struck true, and the Varesh crumpled before they even realized their mistake. 3 down. The Council chamber was deathly quiet. Even Valzar's amusement had faded into something colder, his claws tapping against the armrest of his seat. The humans weren't just keeping up. They were dominating. The last remaining sniper was one of Valzar's own, an elite marksman outfitted with the most sophisticated combat enhancements the Council had ever developed. Their rifle used predictive targeting, capable of calculating a kill trajectory before the trigger was even pulled. Their cybernetic implants made them faster, stronger, nearly untouchable. Mercer had a rifle, 5 bullets, and time. 4 minutes, neither moved. The battlefield stilled. The Council watched with bated breath as 2 hunters lay in wait, unseen, unheard, locked in a duel where the first mistake would be the last. Then Mercer moved. Deliberately. A calculated risk. He placed a reflective shard of metal in a window frame and shifted his position just enough for the enemy's predictive systems to register movement. The sniper took the shot, but they weren't shooting at Mercer. They were shooting at a reflection. Their weapon fired. The beam struck empty space. Mercer's rifle cracked in response. A single shot. A direct hit. The last enemy fell. The simulation ended. For the first time in the history of the Galactic Council, the humans stood alone on the battlefield. Victorious. The battlefield dissolved into static as the simulation ended, but the weight of what had just happened remained. The council chamber, once filled with laughter and mockery, now sat in stunned silence. The display confirmed it. Mercer, the human, had eliminated every opponent without suffering a single wound. No AI assistance. No guided munitions. No technological crutches. Just raw skill, patience, and precision. Vulzar's jaw tightened. This was not how it was supposed to go. Humanity was meant to be humbled, not to stand victorious. He rose from his seat, claws gripping the edge of the railing. This proves nothing, he spat. Your kind still lags behind in science, in power, in dominance. A mere contest does not rewrite the hierarchy of the galaxy. Mercer slung his rifle over his shoulder and looked up at the council without a hint of arrogance, only certainty. It wasn't a contest, he said evenly. It was war. And you lost. The words struck deeper than any bullet. The other species, once so sure of humanity's weakness, now exchanged uneasy glances. Their finest warriors had been outmatched by a soldier using technology centuries behind their own. What did that mean for the future? A Krelzok representative finally broke the silence. You have no enhancements. No neural interfaces. How? Mercer met their gaze. Because we don't rely on machines to think for us. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Some species nodded in reluctant respect. Others remained silent, processing what they had just witnessed. The arbiter raised a hand, calling for order. The results speak for themselves. Humanity has earned the respect of this council. Their voice carried a finality that not even Vulzar could challenge. Mercer turned, walking away without another word. He had done what he came to do. Behind him, the Galactic Council sat in uneasy silence, now fully aware that they had underestimated not just a soldier, but an entire species.